Hi everybody, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new Neca clothed Commando Elvira figure. So before we take a look at Elvira, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with her stand. It looks pretty cool with her signature right there, since she does have her really big heels on, and she's top heavy with her hair. She definitely benefits from having this. Up next, she comes with her aunt's spell book, and this is painted really well. I love how it looks very worn and aged. I think it's just cast in this dark brown color and has this light brown and reddish color painted over top of it. That looks really good. I love the attention to paint detailing on this. Up next, she comes with her dagger, and this is sculpted and painted very well, and despite it being a really tiny accessory, she can hold it very well. She also has storage for it on the loop on her belt right here, and it stays very well. It's a really tight fit. I was surprised at how well that fits in there. Up next, she comes with her bazooka, and she can hold this very well. It's a pretty tight fit in her right hand. The left hand's not really meant to hold anything, so it does kind of slip off of it. But she can hold it pretty well for the most part. I think it looks really good. It's just cast in this green color, and the camo paint is painted over top of it. You do get the strap right here. It is pegged in, so you can move it a little bit. The best way that I've found to get this on Elvira is to put it over top of her left shoulder and have her holding it like this. I think that's the way it looks best. The only real complaint that I have with this is since the handle is painted black, the black has stained her hand. If you're going to have the bazooka in her hand, then you won't see it. But yeah, if you don't have that in her hand has been stained black. So that is a bit unfortunate. Up next, you get her smiling faceplate, and I think this is a spectacular likeness of Cassandra Peterson. Neca did an amazing job at sculpting and painting it. They used the print tech to print all the details on her face, like the makeup and everything. And it's not pixelated or anything. Like, it looks really clean despite it being printed on. Neca just did a really awesome job on this. And finally, you get her open mouth smiling faceplate. And just like with the previous faceplate, I think it looks really good. I definitely wish we would have gotten a third faceplate, though, with a more serious expression, like she has in the movie and on the box art. So even though we don't get an additional faceplate, I still am happy with the ones that we got, because the likeness on both of them is out of this world. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. So surprisingly, this actually uses a new hairpiece. It's sculpted really, really well. But you get this tie right here that she has around her head, and it's actually sculpted and painted on. I really thought it was just a new piece that was added underneath, but no, it's actually sculpted to the hair, so the hair and the faceplates are brand new. Neca did a re-release of the very first Elvira, and she had switch-out faceplates. I really thought it would reuse that, but nope, we get new parts, and I'm pretty happy with that. Since this is a retro type figure, you get the real dress right here. They made it out of a really nice material, just like with the first and re-release Elviras. Of course, this time it's tattered, it's much shorter, and it's missing the right sleeve right there. But I think it looks really good overall. You get a little bit of variation in paint over top of her skin. I think it's supposed to be dirt, and it's printed on there on her chest. You get it printed on her arms and a little bit up her forearms. It's a lot more subtle on her forearms than on her hand and chest right here, though. You get her tattoo of the skull with bat wings. That looks really good. You get her spiked bracelets, and I wish they would have been painted better. You can see that they're supposed to be painted silver, and it's kind of haphazardly put on. On this left one, the paint is definitely a lot better, but on this right one, the spikes didn't get painted that well at all. The paint on the legs is done very well. This right here where she has a run on her stockings on the right side, this is actually the color that her legs are cast in. And they have paint variation over top for the stockings. And I think that looks really good. If you didn't know any better, it would almost look like they were cast in that. Especially because they painted the joints on even. The knee joints are painted, and it looks really good, until you get down here to her ankle joints. And then they cast them in that color, and the paint is just chipping away. It's not quite as bad on the right side. It is hidden pretty well with the way it's sculpted right here. But on the left side, almost all of it has chipped away. So yeah, that is super noticeable. I also noticed a piece of her shoe got painted onto the top of her foot right there on the right side. So yeah, the shoes could have been painted a little bit better too. You can see that the lines are pretty wavy, especially on the inside right here. So now, let's go ahead and go over her articulation. So she has a ball jointed neck and it can't look back at all. It is very hindered. She can look down all the way, but I guess if you do that, then her faceplate will fall off. And that's kind of horrifying. She can move her head side to side a little bit. She has shoulders that can move all the way out. She has some really nice articulation there. She has a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows that can bend in all the way, a hinge on the right wrist for holding the bazooka that moves up and down and side to side, and a regular swivel on this side that moves side to side. And the up and down movement, it feels very brittle. It does move, but I'm very wary of moving this around too much for fear that it'll break. She has a ball jointed diaphragm that can move back very slightly, can move forward all the way. The side to side movement is really hindered. On the hip articulation, she can do a complete split. These joints, oh man, that's a horrible noise. So she can kick forward that far, back that far. She has very slight thigh swivel, single jointed knees, ankles that can move down just a little bit, up just a little bit, and they really move side to side. There's really no rocker there because of the way it's sculpted. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here she is next to the very first Elvira that we got. As I said, I don't have the re-release that has the interchangeable faceplates instead of the head sculpts. Here she is next to the red, frightened blue edition. And finally, here she is next to the retro re-release Freddy Krueger figure. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up because I think Neca did a fantastic job on this. This is probably my favorite variation of Elvira so far in the line. It's just a really fun figure, and they did a really good job on her. Like, the likeness is perfect. It's one of the best likenesses that Neca has done in the retro line, honestly. I do feel like I'm getting kind of all Elvira'd out, though, because so far we have the regular version, the re-release with the faceplates of the regular version, the red, frightened blue version, Pride version, and now this one. And that's not even including the Toonie Terrors. So while I do think there's a bunch of Neca Elvira figures, this one is probably my favorite. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.